transpired last time.
All I can say is I didn't get my freaking gloves.
You wanted to go there at like 6 a.m.
I'm gonna get my damn gloves. I think we went to a festival fair, kind of like carnival. There's a bunch of games. I'll let everybody kind of talk about the games that they played. But yeah, we did a bunch of stuff and played a bunch of games.
You broke into Tabitha's shop to try and get.
Okay. Some people say broke into. I'm pretty sure I just peeked inside, tried to use magic. Somebody else broke inside for me, and I was very discomfortable with that.
Is it breaking in if you just unlock it gently?
I think so. I think that's how that works.
But nothing was broken.
Their trust. Okay. Tabitha's trust.
Yeah, unlawful entering into a premise. But yes, that happened so we woke up just before dawn. We tried to do the whole break-in, check out the bow.
We went to the council meeting.
But we ended up not taking the bow because we realized it wasn't ready. Apoc shot the arrow into the outside of the shop, I believe, into a wall. We went to our council appointment.
That was very frustrating. Mrs. Q was very bothered.
Yes.
We did a reenactment of all of our travels.
Yes.
Very important.
An interpretive dance.
Yep.
Very cool, kind of like what was it, mage hand or something, like to create images or whatnot of everything that happened. We got the council to agree that they can't send the perch guard to Meadowfen, but they can send the tenders, the group of like druids, sort of. They're kind of like the B team, so to speak, to one, investigate the grove more and also go to Meadowfen.
And report back about the state of things.
Yes, and we're waiting for them to report back to the council, who will then contact us about what they find.
There was a very sassy chair.
Gallus.
Not her biggest fan.
Mrs. Q got very upset.
I did. Georgina was also like.
What was her name? Britta? Speaker Britta?
Bitta.
Oh.
It was the Luma, right?
No, she was a Gallus.
Yeah, she was a blue-robed and white Gallus.
Okay.
Like a peahen was what it was.
But once we got and while we were in the council, we did notice that there was some person who was like listening, who walked out.
A strig in like a leather tunic.
And from far as we can tell, for those who noticed him, there's some connection between this person, the strig, and the tenders. As soon as the tenders were mentioned, they kind of just gave a sigh and walked out.
Did we get a description of the tenders? Like, how do we know it's them when we find them? I don't think we did we?
All you know of the tenders is that they are kind of a secluded group or collective of druids who have been trying to keep the scorched grove part of the wood under control using like natural magics at their disposal. But because they focus on the scorched grove that is ever trying to consume and expand into the wood, they don't seem to frequent cities. So you know of them, you know that there was a tender in the council chambers who was able to kind of shape the chambers as you were walking in. But it seems like if anybody would know about the Scorched Grove, it is this group of druids in the Scorched.
And the tenders are like the Secret Service, right? Ish.
No, so the tenders are they're kind of like Susan in a way. If you remember Susan, like living separately on their own, surrounded by nature. you got the sense that they don't have so much a fighting style as they're looking for a way to heal the grove, based on what the council members kind of relayed to you, and the fact that they didn't want to send Perch Guard because the tenders would know better, essentially. So they're not the Secret Service, they're more of like your Parks Can or Park Rangers sort of situation going on.
So we're boned.
Yeah. Bunch of college students with biology degrees.
He's looking for summer jobs.
Yeah, that's why I said the B team. Then I believe after leaving, so we know that the tender's supposed to get back to the council. The council's going to reach out to us. So after we leave, to try and kind of like get our minds off of it, because Mrs. Q was very upset, we decided to check out the festival, or just check out what's going on in the city related to the festival. We saw Jace and his like circus friends kind of the flip flips kind of setting
flip flips
and practicing. And then we also saw just a lot of street vendors and games. And then we ended up playing
some games. It was fun.
Sir Basil played a strength game, like a sandbag toss.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And with a little help from his pal Cam, won to.
You can't prove I was there.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
You can't?
He won a pixie stick and a sock puppet that creates fog. So that's very interesting. I'm trying to think if I can combine that with my bubbles, but we'll see.
You know a tinkerer.
And then Mrs. Q played a game as well.
Yes, I totally botched a game of D&D roulette.
No, you won something.
Yeah.
I picked the wrong color. The option.
No. You picked the right color.
Blue.
Yes, Georgina, not Mrs. Q, was very confused.
That's true. I don't know how to play games.
Yeah.
But I won a pouch of seeds that smells like whatever smell I associate with home. That was very cool.
Wild Mountain.
Wild Mountain Time. And then we played some ring toss, and I think Apoc played the ring toss and got a bunch of fives all in a row.
There was a lot of fives. But I won a sleep mask.
What do we win for Dace? We won something for Dace. There's a second thing for Dace.
Did we?
I don't have anything written down for Dace.
I don't think you did win anything for Dace.
I thought Basil won 2 things and we were going to give one of them to Dace.
Oh, sure. I could totally do that.
No, that's cool. And I think that's all that happened. I think we're good.
And I think we left off still at the fair.
Yep.
It ended off with
Cam getting his fortune told.
yes.
Unless you were intentionally trying to skip that part. Yes?
Yes.
Much.
Cool.
Yeah. So as long as there's no questions from Dennis or Steph, we can pick right back up in the middle of the festival as Camembert is leaving the beaded doorway to the fortune teller, kind of looking both ways, seeing his friends just finishing up at the ring toss. And as you are making your way back to the group, Cam, you kind of get bowled over a little bit by this tall, feathery person who you now recognize is Dace as he's trying to hustle back to the group.
I'm walking here. Come on.
And Dace, I would like you to make me a performance check, please.
It's checked, okay. A 12.
You have a couple 3 silver pieces in your hands. You seem to have done a little bit better at the karaoke bar today than you did the other day. As you bump into Cam and make your way back to the group itself, reconvening right in the middle of this market.
And I notice him. I notice Cam.
After bowling over him a little bit in your rush to get back to Mrs. Q and Basil, you'd absolutely notice him.
I go invisible.
Thought I saw something.
A jerk.
Oh, I
Is there
can't.
any-
I've already used that today. I'm not invisible.
Oh.
I was gonna do something, but I think we're no. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. All right. Is he on the floor? Did I knock him over on the floor? All right. I might as well offer my wing. Sorry, man.
As
Didn't
he
see it.
as he picks me up, I want to pickpocket.
All right. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Dace, go ahead and make a perception check.
10.
16.
You feel something just like slip into your pocket. You see Camembert's hand just trying to grab at the first thing it can find in your pocket.
Since I noticed this, I let go of my hand and I just pull it back and I let him fall to the ground.
Good. You're sharp. There's a lot of pickpockets around here. I wanted to make sure you're on your game.
Yeah, man. Sure. Get out of here.
All right, let's go find the rest.
Knowing what happened, I'll probably walk behind him.
Perfect. All right, you're easy enough to catch up with Mrs. Q, with Basil, and with Apoc. It's definitely, the festival has really picked up. It's kind of at its peak. You're into like early afternoon. The smell of the popcorn and roasting chestnuts filling the air. A lot of fried dough smells with some sweetness kind of lingers. And what you're used to normally with Mrs. Q's pouch of herbs that follows your group in a permanent herbal scent is now being taken over by these very, very potent, very pungent, delicious smelling bits of food. What would you guys like to do?
Mrs. Q sees Dace back and she like bustles over and starts like brushing his tunic to get all of the creases out and said, "Oh, did you have a productive evening, dear? Did you have a good performance? We've missed you. We've got so much to tell you. You should really."
Yeah. And I just reach out, I'm like, look at the money. And I just show her the 3 silver pieces.
Oh, she gives him a little squeeze on the fluffy cheek and says, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. You're getting better and better."
What'd you sing tonight, Dace?
I call me maybe.
Oh.
And I think that's why I got the 3 gold pieces.
By Marlon Ray
They are
Jepsen.
silver, good sir, not gold.
Oh, 3 silver. I'll get there one day.
Maybe.
Question. What is the sock puppet like? What is it of? Is it like a yeah.
An animal.
Well, what does it look like?
Yeah.
So it is just like a white knitted sock. It's kind of scratchy, feels almost like it was knitted from sheep's wool. And as you kind of play around with it and put it on, it looks like the worst version of a sock puppet that a child would make. Like the googly eyes are on like opposite diagonals, and there's like a tongue that kind of tried to get stitched in, but it didn't quite work. It's super, super derpy looking,
Okay.
But kind of endearing the more you look at it.
But it's not meant to be like, oh, it's like a gerbean sock puppet. It's like a string sock, like what, like.
It's so abstract that you could make a case for it being anything.
Gotcha. Okay. I feel like Sir Basil will be like just so enamored by the sock puppet. He's just playing with it. The entire time it's like, oh hey. And then he like seeing Dace, the sock puppet, will hand Dace the pixie stick. Be like, hey Dace.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like Dace would just like.
But he's just like feeling like a kid right now, just playing with sock puppet.
I feel like Dace would just swipe at it because like he would never know what a sock puppet was, like from his like background. So just be like, ah.
He's so on edge right now from being looted too.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you accept the pixie stick?
Nope.
All right. So you can keep that in your inventory, Basil.
Okay.
Dace,
The sock
be
puppet?
polite.
I don't know what a sock puppet is. You got a little.
Then use your words. Ask what it is.
Sir Basil will seem like shocked, but the puppet will be just like giving you the death stare. Like,
You
I'm just
angry.
trying to comprehend that there's a sock, like a face on a hand that's attached to your body. Like, black magic.
Oh gosh.
what is this sorcery?
Super bright after the karaoke bar, apparently. All right. So as you are all kind of having this conversation in the middle of the, kind of just in the middle of the open space in between all of the games of the festival itself, Camembert, I think you have the highest passive perception. And you notice out of the corner of your eye, one of the games is like the classic baseball toss, where there is like 3 stacked cans, and someone just has one shot to chuck a baseball at it and try and get all of the cans off of the little tabletop. And you see a like very, very buff Dace equivalent Strig kind of approach this stand, wind up, shoot, and just looks like he would have hit everything off. And you see one of the cans kind of roll one way before just teetering back enough to stay on. And he walks away kind of crestfallen, looking to see that nobody noticed. And you see a couple children who decide to run past him and try their luck, each of them giving the most adorable, like, kind of toss. And as if it was willed to happen, these children knock all of the cans off the table, kind of scattering it almost sporadically a little bit. And as you're kind of paying more and more attention to the almost erratic behavior, similar to what you did at the toss with Sir Basil and at the roulette wheel, you notice kind of tucked away in the corner, just peeking around to have eyesight on the stand itself, a small hooded figure who only sort of stands out because they are hooded in a place with extravagant colors and face paint and hair dye, or fur dye or feather dye. Elle, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my character's name is Elle. So just as the DM said, you can just see this small little cloaked bird-like figure standing around the corner. Because the hood is up, you don't really see much, but you can see the teal and purple sheen of the throat feathers. You can see little scaly orange feet, and then just the little peaks of wings coming out of the sleeves of the cloak. If any of you do watch long enough, you do see some like flash of gold and hazel if you see some eyes, but other than that, the head's pretty low.
Cool.
Every so often, as this figure kind of helps another child win a prize and another child win a prize, there's almost a chuckling shoulders. Just version.
Hey, Dace, I want to see you go throw some cans. Throw some balls at cans. Throw your balls at those cans.
Oh, I thought you wanted to see my cans. So
No, we always see your cans. We don't want to.
I'll walk up to I guess the mini game bar, and I'll put down my 3 silver pieces. And I'll try my luck.
Great. The stand tender is just sort of like nodding at approval, looks you up and down. I've seen types like you try and fail. Go ahead and test your luck. And hands you a single baseball.
Single base.
That's for you, Silver. Woo.
Wow. Worth it.
Unfortunately, Dace wasn't here to realize that none of the games are monetary. But the carnival member is not going to say anything against it. He kind of pockets it to the side.
Do I roll an athletics check or?
I'm going to say you can go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
A dexterity, okay.
And Elle, I need you to check your WhatsApp.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay. Give me a second.
I'm sorry?
Give me a second.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right. As you go to wind up Dace and you go to throw with all your might, the cans like get hit right in the middle of that pyramid of 3 and they just scatter. And as they fall, 2 of them miss the pedestal, but one of them kind of lands back on it, kind of clinking side to side to side to side, and just starts to kind of roll just a little bit to the side, looking as though it's not quite going to make it off before you feel this gentle at first and then a bit of a nudging whoosh as the final can seems to almost be like blown just enough to hop it off of the podium. And the carnival tender is just going to kind of look flabbergasted a little bit as he had his mouth open to say, better luck next time, before just looking around. Did you do that? Did you feel that?
What were the prizes?
I'm not sure that you didn't cheat. Did you do that? Did you see that? Did you cheat?
Did you just see my throw? Did you?
Didn't look like the can was falling off in my eyes.
Mrs.
I don't know, bro.
Camembert in the side of the head.
Pardon?
Mrs. Q whoops Camembert in the side of the head because he's clearly trying to make trouble.
Ow.
Continue, Jace.
Camembert is out cold. Death saves.
No.
Hey.
Yeah, the tender's just kind of like, I find you cheated, mate. Go ahead and pick your prize from the table. I'm not convinced. And you can go ahead and roll a D100, Dace.
A D100. Oh. Do I even have a D100? Oh, I do. 76.
Oh, creepy. You pick up a bag, and as you are kind of looking over to where the prizes are on the table, kind of kitty corner to this stand, and you just catch a glimpse of that little hooded figure off to the side, but you're a little too busy collecting your prize. And as you go ahead and open the little bag, throwing the tissue paper off to the side, you open to a tiny wooden box, very intricately carved. It's quite beautiful. And as you go to kind of try and open the lid and like play around with it almost a little bit, it's stuck, like the lid isn't opening. Kind of looking around. The lid's just not open.
I quietly say to myself, what a waste of 3 silver coins.
Oh.
I'll put in my little backpack, but I'll show it to the group before putting it in.
I imagine as Dace is trying to like open it. So imagine like your Dace holding it, right? Just like holding the box. Like you just see this puppy go, whoop, whoop, and then whoop.
This is gonna be a problem. You can add like little wooden box that doesn't open to your inventory.
How mysterious.
Just literally a wooden box.
Wooden box that doesn't open.
All right.
Watching this, could we all tell what happened?
Being this close to the stand now, before it was a little hard, people milling about, Camembert kind of only noticed because it's something that he's done. But now you definitely see and hear the chuckles from just around the corner now that you're this close.
Hey, Dace. You know you didn't do that, right?
What are you talking about?
I hate to burst your bubble, but might have looked like that person helped you.
Who? And I just look around.
I just nod over to the hooded figure.
And I'm just in disbelief because I'm like, I'm confident that I'm the one that threw the ball. I did all the work, and my pride is at stake right now.
Elle sees that that this boar has kind of clocked her and is just gonna kind of look and then pull back behind the corner.
What, hey, Apoc, what? You saw that too, right?
Yeah. That wasn't you, right?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, I know your stuff.
I'm not gonna help Dace out.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should investigate. You wanna?
No time has passed, and you just see like a little eyes pluck around the corner, seeing nothing has changed, and then leaves again.
All right. Do you want to slice the pie? I'll go left. You go right.
Hold on, let me throw up a tracker.
Guys, let's just believe I did the work.
Dude,
I didn't cheat.
let me cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Do you need to see the target?
I think so. If they're within sight, poking around the corner.
Yeah, the figure's currently tucked around the corner unless you took that opportunity when they poked their head back around.
Okay. Then I wouldn't be able to get it off. You go around that way, I'll go around this way.
But where exactly is my character? I know she's around the corner, but is like her back up against another, is she next to another stall that's beside her?
Yeah, so it's kind of like these stalls are almost at like 90 degrees to one another, sort of haphazardly kind of stationed. So right around the corner, your back would be open to everything behind you. On your right would be like the prize table of the stall next door. And then right around the corner, you can see the prize table of where they're at right now and the baseball throw game. So there's coming around the corner is where they could actually see it.
Is there a canopy on the stall that is behind me?
So something with Alderheart, all of the tables and stalls have been grown out of the ground itself. So it is a solid, like beautiful, intricately curled and architectured table that these prizes are on. It's not so much a tablecloth or anything.
Okay.
Right. Apoc.
I'm gonna try and sneak up on her.
Okay. I just want to go to the other corner, like not poke around, but like adjacent to where the figure was kind of hiding.
Okay, so figures around this corner and you're right here.
Yeah, and right. Then Eric, do you have something immediately that you want to do, or can I do something real quick?
I'm just gonna sneak. Go ahead.
Using my Swarm Keeper magic, so Mage Hand at will. I just want to create a shape of a feather with the fleas that come off of my boar skin, just on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. Elle, you now see a group of fleas that kind of gather in a very peculiar pattern, looking like a delicate feather that appear on the ground in front of you. Camembert, I'll take a stealth check when you get a chance. And Elle, you can make a perception check.
That's a 27.
Oh.
Well, I rolled a nat 20. Woo!
That's your first roll.
What a way to start. Wow.
Jeez. Okay, so perception? 22.
Okay, 22. So as you're kind of like looking and sort of mesmerized by this odd arrangement of fleas that appeared in front of you, even with the nat 20, Camembert, you are able to kind of creep around enough with the aid of the distraction. What is it you're attempting to do?
Hey, that was pretty cool. I like your style.
Elle doesn't move. She's very, very still. And then kind of slowly turns her body to just be looking straight at you. You can see now that she has really bright hazel eyes, not usually like, and you can tell from looking at her now that you're close that she is a sable luma. She's a pigeon. And she's got a cloak down on her head, so you can kind of just see her face. And she's kind of just staring back at you. It makes like a really nervous, like, oh, and just is really frightened actually.
Oh no! Oh, that's too bad I caught you. If you want, I can give you some tips on how to not get caught next time.
I don't like to do this, but he was a mean man.
It's mean. How so?
I've never had a job before, but I did a job and he wouldn't give me what he said he'd owe me. So I just wanted to mess with him a little bit.
The name's Camembert. What's your name?
She pauses. And then she says, my name is Elle.
Well, Elle, you're not going to mess with that man a little bit. We're going to mess with that man a lot of bit. You should come meet my friends.
Knew it.
Her face kind of lights up a little bit, and like looking at her, she's only about 2.5 feet tall. She's tiny.
As he says, you should come meet my friends, Apoc just jumps around the corner and says, "Boards of a feather stick together."
Elle doesn't quite get the humor, so she doesn't really respond.
That's okay, Steph. You could just say you don't like the joke.
No, Elle does not understand humor. She genuinely doesn't get it.
This is gonna be fun.
And then the fleas fly up, and you see like this single feather sticking in Apoc's head.
Yeah. Hey, we if you want, we're just checking out the festival. It's a beautiful day out, and if you want to like come meet our friends, it might be neat. We can maybe help you out. Make this guy pay for not paying.
You have friends?
Well, associates.
Oh,
I've never really had friends.
It's pretty cool if you try it once.
Dennis is talking.
Right, Apoc?
Right. I mean, I think they're friends, but Cam's got a weird way with people, but he's all right.
He looks so like she, again, kind of a little still scared, a little stunned, and doesn't quite understand what's happened. But she just nods.
What'd that guy owe you?
I don't really know much about money, but all he gave me was this, and I just hold up 1 copper piece.
And what'd you do?
Well, I had to clean, and I had to sort, and I had to move things. I think I helped him get ready.
A lot of work for a copper piece.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I just said it's a lot of work for a copper piece.
How much do you think that's actually worth? 10 gold? That sound about right?
I'll just kind of shrug. She's like, I was just trying to find something to eat. I never really realized that I couldn't just take things when I was here. I've never been to a city before. I mean, not really, not bigger than my home.
the story gets more and more sad. It's like, oh.
Well, Mrs. Q has got some food on her. Well, I can only assume she always does. If you're hungry and need some food, here, let us introduce you to them.
She nods. She still looks nervous, but she nods and kind of she'll go with you.
All All right, bring him back to the rest of the group. Hey guys, this is Elle.
Raises like a wing and just kind of keeps it there.
Is it L as in just L or ELLE?
Are you asking Steph or?
Yeah, I'm asking Steph.
It's spelled ELLE, but it's just pronounced like the letter.
Cool. I'm just curious for my notes.
Do you still have your hood up?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty close. You can just kind of see my face and a bit of my neck. I've got like a teal robe. It's kind of ornate. It's got embroidery on it. I've got a orange bandana and like orange little feet with a band around my ankle. And that's about all you can see.
Is it a single band, like a tracker, or is it bands at each feet?
It kind of looks like, yeah, it's some kind of like something you might put on an animal to track where it goes.
She's a slave. We need to free her.
Why do you always go to that? It's not always that.
She might have broke out of the oh my god, what's bird jail called?
The chicken coop.
Bird jail.
The coop? She flew the coop?
The coop.
Painful, Sean.
Are you with everybody now? You've brought her out to everyone? So as context, while all of this was happening, Mrs. Q saw you guys going off to do something. She felt a level of like pride that you would try and make a friend, a level of concern because you usually cause trouble, but for the most part, she decided she wanted to do something else and not follow you. So she ended up going and talking about various cultivars of chestnuts with the person who was roasting chestnuts close by. And upon turning around and seeing the new person, she sort of does her best to like look under the hood to see what this new person looks like. And do you look underfed? Like, would Mrs. Q, as a matronly, grandmothery person, tell you that you look too thin and you should probably eat something, like most grandmothers do?
I would say probably. Like for a pigeon, she's still pretty gangly as they are, but it's a little hard to tell just because of the cloak she's got on.
Okay. Well, because Mrs. Q always assumes that everyone should probably eat something, she says, "My dear, you're looking incredibly gaunt. Would you like some chestnuts? Or a cookie?"
So my wing is like still up, so I just put it down and I just, yes. You're older. She says this to Mrs. Q.
I love it. You're observant. Extra cookies for you. And she gives you like 3 cookies and then goes and buys some chestnuts from the person she was talking to and gives them to you.
She just follows you and is like, how old are you?
It's been too long to count, my dear. You get to my age and you'd rather not know.
As this is happening, can Sir Basil kind of like he's like kind of stand right up to Elle.
Bring the sock puppet back.
No. But he's gonna kind of at Elle, and you can see he's kind of like trying to compare their heights, and then he's still realized he's the shortest in the group because Elle's taller than him. He's just like, and then like kind of just like huffs to himself like, oh.
As you go to purchase chestnuts, Mrs. Q, just for some flavor text, they are being roasted right in front of you. There's an older Gallus figure, very rooster-like, who has a very, very small, not unlike Lukewarm, the fire gecko, a little pseudo dragon who's blue, who kind of comes down his arm and just shoots little flames of fire at some unroasted chestnuts for a few seconds before you start to smell the aromatics of the chestnuts cooking. And after you have placed your order, this little pseudo dragon crawls back up to the shoulder of this Gallus, who then hands you your very hot order of roasted chestnuts.
As Mrs. Q sees the little dragon thing coming down, she like has flashbacks her apron was destroyed, and so she sort of like takes a step back and like holds her apron to make sure it doesn't get scorched because she will not be repairing it again. She hands the chestnuts to Elle and says, "Here, we'll get the luster back in your feathers. Don't you worry. Are you thirsty? Do you need to sit down? Are you okay? Do you need a snack? Do you need a?" And she just sort of like keeps rattling on.
Elle just kind of stares at you like a little overwhelmed. She'll be eating, but she doesn't really know how to respond because not many people have asked her these kind of questions. So she's just kind of nodding with whatever you're saying to her. You're really nice.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sir Basil's still just standing right beside Elle, just watching her, comparing their heights.
She's gonna turn and look directly at you. And again, she doesn't have many expressions like birds don't generally, but she's just gonna kind of look and stare at you and she's gonna say, "Who are you?"
Feeling embarrassed that he was caught comparing heights, he Sir Basil, at your service, holds out his hand, and it's the sock puppet.
She's gonna look at it and not really know what to do with a handshake.
He just like realizes, take the sock puppet off, and just goes in for the hand and shakes it.
No.
Was that your toy? I have a toy.
Let's see your boy.
Gonna pull out. She moves her bandana over a little bit, and you see like a bit of a wash of white feathers amongst her gray. And she's wearing like a double holster. And she goes under one wing, and she pulls out a little Vulcan-esque doll, who looks pretty worse for wear. But she kind of holds her up to show you.
I don't know how Sir Basil will react. Yeah, just go with my first instinct. Put the sock puppet back on. Oh boy!
Oh no.
Was that Mickey Mouse? I like it.
Elle will hold up her little ball pen and say, "Hello, my name is Cordelia."
What's he gonna do, Basil?
Sir Basil just... Yeah.
As this conversation is going on. Go ahead, Basil, sorry.
Continue off in our little world of, nice to meet you, Cordelia.
Yeah, they're just, yeah.
Ace is looking at this conversation, and I'm just so entranced by this little sock puppet just talking. I'm like, how is he talking? What's going on?
Oh boy.
I just imagine you slowly just coming up and just poking the puppet. What is this?
As this exchange is going on, I have no idea how long you go for with this exchange. And you do start to hear in the background, like people kind of shuffling to the side, like, it's almost time. Yeah, it's getting close. I mean, this is going to start soon, right? I'm excited for it. And you just kind of hear this muttering as people are kind of passing through this central area where the games are to make their way towards the big top, high top tent, circus tent, whatever they're called, big tops. I think they're called big tops. As you can just kind of faintly hear the muttering as the crowd seems to be moving in a way. What would you guys like to do?
Do we follow the crowd?
We kind of see the flip-flips.
I think we're planning to see the flip-flips. Mrs. Q takes Elle by the, like, links her arm and says, "We're going to go see a circus act. Would you like to come?"
What's a circus?
Oh, then you definitely have to come. And she doesn't explain.
She's happy to kind of just walk along. Like, you can tell there's not much going on. She's just kind of happy to come along. Yeah.
Apoc's just gonna look at Cam and then look at the guy that's managing the booth.
There we go.
I'm like right there with you.
Hold up the stat block. What are you trying to
I'm gonna go to the booth, put down like 1 silver, grab 2 balls, and just look at the guy and be like, I'm gonna knock this over so hard. Just creating a distraction for Cam.
You only get 1 shot, not 2.
I'm holding 2.
I'm robbing him blind.
Cool. Okay. Go ahead and make a spell check.
Like, is there like a
Or sorry, sleight of hand. Sorry.
sleight of hand?
I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can, not even aiming for the blocks.
23.
Woo!
33. Okay, I was about to say performance check to see your distraction, but
Not 16.
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. That wasn't close. As you're arguing, Apoc and just like going for it, Cam being as sneaky as he is, just hands in the pockets, hands out of the pockets, grabbing the like double fisting it with some coin purses. This is a traveling carnival that has been set up for the festival, and this guy definitely came prepared, perhaps to bet on the roulette wheel or not. But you are able to swipe like 40 gold from this guy between the 2 pouches. And with that kind of check, you had enough time to even just like feel around for any other coin purses in his pockets before sneaking away. And you got it. And there are doves cooing outside, just as a heads up. If you want.
So with that, all right, go Apoc, and I'm gonna return back to the group.
Right.
I'm just gonna throw the other one quickly at the blocks. Is it a dex?
Yes, dex check.
21.
Yeah.
I told you only get 1 shot. You took 2, you only get 1, you don't get a prize.
I take the. Is there another ball on the table?
Sure.
I'm taking this then. I just walk away.
This poor guy.
You have like an old ratty baseball. I don't know what you want to do with that.
I just look at him and grunt and then leave.
Cool.
He just allowed
You
it.
add old ratty baseball to your inventory.
Perfect.
Like the ones that have been touched by so many people in so many places that the carnival has been. Gross.
Hey, you never know when you're gonna need a baseball.
Apparently. Ball bearings.
Yeah. Yeah, I just meet up back with the group.
Perfect. Right. So stop me if you want to do anything at any point, but as you are kind of walking in towards the high top tent, kind of milling about with the crowd, you are kind of getting like shoulder to shoulder, Mrs. Q, with your arm linked through Elle, kind of keeping her close. You're all just sort of staying a little bit tucked in together. As you get a little closer, it doesn't seem like the doors are open just yet. You're kind of just waiting in line, waiting for them to open. Like there's an anticipatory air around the crowd. And Basil, as you're kind of just sitting there, kind of looking around, maybe a little bit entranced by the sock puppet, you kind of get like bumped just and jostled just a little bit by someone who's like sort of your size. And as the jostling kind of goes, you hear just a, oh, I'm so sorry. Basil. Oh my gosh. As you see that you are face to face with your oldest sister, Lavender.
Sorry, what was the name you said?
Lavender.
Okay. And I guess she recognized me like with the armor and everything.
It's been so long. Is that really you? And she'll kind of like go to lift up your helmet just a little before just like keeping her hands to herself. It is you.
Sir Basil just like drops his puppet and just like goes in for a big embrace, like Lavender.
Yeah, she gives you the biggest hug possible.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been? Oh my gosh.
Off here and there in different adventures. Where have you been? Are you here by yourself?
No, actually. Lemon. And she'll kind of like reach over beside her and pull another Gerbine, who you recognize as your sister Lemongrass. We're both here. We're here to see the festival. We were gonna just like buy a couple things and we were gonna see the sights and then bring it back to Mom and Dad. I didn't expect to see you. Basil, it's been like 20 years.
Sir Basil kind of just like so choked up with joy, just kind of like sweeps them up in a big hug and kind of like almost like swings them around. And then
Lavender definitely returns the hug. But as you go to sweep up Lemongrass, you can almost feel her just stiffen in your grasp.
Mm.
And not quite return the hug as you set her now.
Okay.
And as you kind of look at your two sisters, you see in Lavender's face, now that you're this close, just she looks quite tired. Some rings under her eyes. Definitely some cracks in her hands, like when they get so dry. She's a little bit pale, a little bit tawny. Lemongrass looks a little bit better. Very, very bright. Very bright fur, well taken care of, very shiny. Clothing that you don't quite recognize.
Okay.
It's definitely of almost like a uniform or of a little bit of a higher class than what Lavender is currently wearing and what you remember growing up. But Lavender is just regarding you with these big, big, beautiful eyes. 20 years, Basil. What have you been up to?
Sir Basil, I guess maybe like seeing as Lavender is like happy to see him, like we'll kind of reach out and like hold her cheek and just say too many adventures to recount. But I'm so glad to see you again. Maybe he even calls over Mrs. Q. And he says, look, these are my sisters, Lavender and Lemongrass. He kind of like introduces them to you. And then like in the exchange, he realizes, wait, you said Mom and Dad. And then he goes, are Mother and Father here?
So good to meet you all. You're all so tall. Wow. Yeah. I mean, we never left. Basil?
Are they
We made
here?
our home here.
Are they here at this circus?
No, they, she kind of looks over to Lemongrass. They stay home most of the time now. There was a sickness a couple years ago and they got kind of sick and they haven't really recovered. They're getting old, Basil. But we were gonna pick up some spices for them and then we were gonna bring them back to Arna and like make a really beautiful meal and we're gonna tell them all the stories and this is the first time we've had a festival in so long. And Lemon is here visiting from the Avium. She came all the way up for the festival. It's great. They would love to see you. And all of you, sorry, I keep forgetting you're all so tall. I'm not used to looking up.
Would I know what Avium is?
Yeah, you would all know the Avium is the school, the magical school here in Humblewood. It's just as famous as Alderheart itself. You kind of see Lemon at this point sort of fixing her cuff, trying not to make eye contact with you directly, but is regarding all of your companions, just sort of, nodding, smiling at them.
Sir Basil, hearing that lemongrass came back from the avium, kind of stands up a little taller and says, "The avium, lemongrass, you should be very proud. That is quite an accomplishment."
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
Kind of hearing the like the tone that she's using with him, he kind of brushes it aside and asks, "You mentioned that mother and father were sick?"
Well, and Lavender kind of is going to give like a little bit of a warning look at lemongrass. They're not sick now, Basil, but I mean, Jardines, we really don't live too long. About 5 years ago, there was a bit of a sickness when all of the refugees started coming in. It got really, really clustered here. And, you know, Mom and Dad were already old at that point, and it kind of went through our whole family, actually. Well, those of us who were here. But they're doing fine. They're just, you know, well, they just don't get out as much, and it's fine because it's comfortable. And Arna, she's so sweet. She's been helping us ever since it happened. She's just been wonderful and helping me out a lot. And whenever lemongrass comes and whenever Sage comes back, they always bring something for Mom and Dad. They love seeing us. They'll be so happy that you're here. It's been so long. I mean, Mom hasn't seen you in like 20 years, and we haven't heard from you in a really long time, so they'll be so happy.
Sir Basil, hearing that, his ears kind of like, sort of like perk up a little bit. Not necessarily because he's excited, but because he knows that he did leave on not necessarily the best of terms. You guys have heard the story about Zogma and that whole exchange, and he kind of like left right afterwards. So like kind of almost in some ways ditched his family to like go up and be a knight. So he's a little kind of like nervous about seeing his family. So were they trying to go into the circuit, like to go see the circus, or they just happened to run into me?
No, we're in line to go see the performers, the flip flips. They came maybe like 10 years ago. They used to come every couple of years, but it's been a while. But now they're back, and oh my gosh, we're just so excited. And you can see Lemongrass just kind of like perking up a little when her sister talks, and then just like zoning out when she isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to sit together? You and all your friends. Gosh, so exciting seeing new people.
Sir Basil kind of like opens up his helmet, looking Lavender and Lemongrass in the face and says, "I would absolutely love it if we could sit together."
Great. Okay. I'd say let's go, but like, oh no, the line's moving. Come on, let's go. And she'll just kind of be leading the way, like arm in arm. Her sister on one side, kind of almost dragging a little bit. Now that you are on Lavender's other side. But as you all walk into the high top tent, it is grand. Everybody who's sort of filing in, there was a lot of people in the trunk market at this festival. But as you walk in, it seems like there is space for everyone, and almost trick of the eye is what you chalk it up to, but almost like the rows and rows of seats just kind of keep extending as more people sit down. And as you go ahead and go to take your seats, wherever it is you'd like to take your seats, the tent itself it's cool because it's almost floating in a way. I don't know if everybody's seen like the last Harry Potter movie, but at the wedding scene where the tent is floating of its own and not tied down to anything and no like stick in the middle, think of that. Except the tent itself is this just kaleidoscope of color. There's blues and ebonies and reds and golds, greens, everything is just kind of speckled above. And inside is lit by these very small glowing orbs. A bunch of different colors, most of them a soft white for right now, but they almost kind of shift very delicately from like a pink to a white to a blue to a purple. And filing in, taking your seat, kind of waiting in this sort of anticipatory stage, the middle ring completely open. You don't see anything in the middle ring at this point in time. You can kind of talk back and forth, meeting the people around you, meeting the people beside you. And after what seems like a very short time, considering all of the people who are outside, the lights start to just dim just a little bit. And again, stop me if you want to do anything. But the lights just start to dim. Oh, Elle.
Pretty much since Elle saw Basil interact with the other Gerbians, she is nonstop been asking Miss Q question after question after question after question, from what's a circus to who are these people? Do you have any siblings? Again, how old are you? What are we gonna go see? Do people get hurt at the circus? And she's just continually talking. Her shyness is pretty much gone, and now she's just like nattering.
I love it.
That's really cute.
Mrs. Q doesn't necessarily answer any of the questions that require an answer beyond yes or no, but just like taps her hand and says, these are excellent questions. Very good thinking. And that's about it.
I assume Sir Basil introduces the rest of the group to the sisters. And I would assume, just because it's been that long since he's seen them, he's like more focused on them than he is the circus. Like he just has like a big smile on his face, like looking at his sister or sisters, and just like, even though everything's going on around him, he's just like so focused on them.
Yeah, perfect. Lavender will kind of just talk your ear off the whole time, like whatever you want to ask her, she'll be there. She'll ask you all about your adventures. Lemongrass is going to be sitting on the other side of Lavender and just either staring straight ahead or just in the total opposite direction of where you are. Not really making eye contact with you at all. Is there anything specific you wanted to ask Basil?
I guess more what happened after I left. So as far as Basil knows, they were still in the servitude of Zogma. Basil got in a fight with Zogma, kind of like Mighty Mouse kind of beat him up a little, essentially, and almost essentially kind of like shattered Zogma's pride. And then from there, kind of went on this like self mission to become like the strongest knight he could become. So like from that point onward, he had no idea what happened to his family, what happened to his other siblings, what happened to Zogma, what happened to, yeah. So just more questions about what happened afterwards.
And as you're asking these, it's kind of hard to focus with Elle and Mrs. Q chattering just on your other side. But you kind of get the gist from Lavender. Just, well, I mean, you know, after what happened, Zogma wasn't too happy, so he kind of kicked us all out, and we were gone, and we kind of ended up in the underfall for a little bit. But then, Mom and Dad were able to find jobs, and me and Time were able to get positions, and we sort of worked our way out, and we have a home. We have a home. It's beautiful. It's just on the outskirts of the Bright Hollows. It's really pretty. And then Oh, and then Sage and Lemongrass, a couple years ago, they went off to the avium, just to, study and hone their skills a little bit. Oh, but Thyme and Peppermint, they went to go find you. Didn't you see them?
Sir Basil's ears perk up. No, they never found me.
That was, that was like, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago, maybe. It was right before the sickness hit, so like 6-7 years ago. It's got to be. They said they knew where you were and that they could find you and that.
Have you not heard from them since?
Well, there was. She kind of thinks to herself, and you can see Lemongrass almost side-eyeing the conversation. There were a couple letters, like maybe a year, 2 years after they left, and then they just kind of stopped. Kind of like what happened, when you went, and well, we just sort of assumed that you were all together because, why would the letters stop otherwise? And,
Sir Basil's ears now drop, and you can tell he's kind of beating himself up a little bit inside to the fact that he never kept touch. That like he should have been a better brother, but should have been a better son. So you can see his whole like demeanor just kind of like drops a little bit. And does he say anything?
as your demeanor kind of shifts, you can almost hear like a from Lemongrass, followed by a oof, as you see Lavender give a swift kind of elbow to her sister on the other side.
Maybe hearing that, he asked Lemongrass, "What was that?"
Do you really care?
Sir Basil
You haven't
said,
cared the past 20 years. Do you really care now?
oh geez.
Maybe we should just enjoy the circus. We can unpack this later.
So hearing that, Sir Basil kind of just shakes his head and says, kind of like putting on a fake smile, like, of course. Let's just enjoy the circus. And like awkwardly just turns and faces forward.
With that, it is 8:30. I propose we take a bit of a break and reconvene.
I did not expect it to go this way.
Family drama.
And here I am playing with a stupid puppet.
Any other thing you wanted to do before? I don't want to push past anything that someone would like to do.
If I can, I'm gonna sit down. If I can, I'm gonna sit down on the other side next to lemongrass, and I'm gonna just like lean down and whisper, "Hey, Lem, it's good to see you and Lele are doing well. I'll let you enjoy your brother's company. Maybe we can chat after."
What?
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
What? What?
All right.
Where?
As Andrew is left flabbergasted, but Basil faces the center ring. The lights that are kind of floating, there's enough to fill this whole area, and they all sort of turn this very light pink and just kind of float just around. Elle and Mrs. Q, one of them kind of comes up and hovers sort of right in front of your faces just for a split second before moving on to the rest of the group. They all start to dim as kind of just a woo from the crowd goes through, and there's a hushed silence. You can hear a couple people with like bags of popcorn who are doing the thing where they try and wrap it up really quickly, but in like stop, crink, stop sort of sections before the crowd just is absolutely silent as the balls of light start to just float down and kind of circle around the bottom part of the ring, with a few of them joining up to form bigger, almost glowing chandelier lights at the very top. And into the middle of the ring, you see a very, very tall, very slender servant. So the deer folk of this world. Except this servant is massive. It is the biggest moose that any of you have ever seen. Very, very light, almost blondish colored fur for this particular type of servant. They are walking with a straight back, a soft click of their hooves on the floor of this tent as they move towards the very middle of the ring. Their robes long and flowing in greens and golds and deep ebonies, curls coming up the side, very decorative, very elaborate. And they have on the biggest hat that you have ever seen, with like multiple plumes of peacock feathers kind of coming out of it. And as they sort of make it to the center of the ring, looking around the crowd, starting at the first level, moving to the second and the third, a grin cracks across their faces. They hold up their hands, and you see fireworks sprout from both palms, shooting into the air and exploding to rain down little bits of light that kind of turn into butterflies and just start to flap around you. Elle, one of them lands like right on the tip of your beak, sensing the child among the adults in your group, and just sort of like flutters for a second before vanishing into just little gold dust.
I scream as soon as this thing comes near me, as much as a scream as a pigeon can really do.
I'll leave it to your imagination what that sounds like. There's a hush for a moment after your scream, a few confused people in the crowd who look for that one person that clapped when they weren't supposed to, before a voice booms from the servant below. Welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show that the Flip Flips are about to perform for you. Sit tight. Please, no magics of any kind, as I promise you will be entranced by the magic of our performance. I'd like to invite you all to step back in time with me and experience the myths of Humblewood itself. Relive the glory of Titan in Ardea that gave us the world we currently call home. And let your imagination run wild.
So when the seven said no magic, Mrs. Q locks eyes with Cam and is just like, that's it. I don't want to miss with anything.
Amazing. I was about to say no flash photography, and I had to change it at the very last second. The servant takes a very deep bow, her robes now just starting to ripple kind of in the same way that Basil, your cloak ripples when you activate it. Before kind of turning on her heels, clapping her hands together, and all the lights go out. There's a bit of a hush, just before a single spotlight forms right in the middle, right where the servant was a split second before. And you see a single dancer who is kind of in the most contorted figure possible. Think like a Cirque du Soleil kind of performance. And a music starts to pick up, very, very quiet and faint at first. But as it starts to flow, you can see this dancer flowing with the music. And another one joins, and another one joins, until the whole troupe of the Flip Flips that you saw on the road that day appear to be in the center of this ring. And they are the Flip Flips for a reason. As graceful as their movements are, they're throwing each other in the air and catching them. And you realize that through the movements, through the lights, through the magic that they're using here, they are telling the stories that you are now so familiar with in the tales of Beetle the Bard. And Elle, you would be very familiar with these tales being a child yourself. They are the fairy tales of Humblewood, of its creation. We have a hawk outside who lives on this street. Sorry, just a side note, and he's going ballistic right now. But the tales of Beetle the Bard are, the tales of Jobel the Bard.
Jobel the Bard?
Beetle the Bard is Harry Potter.
I was wondering how much.
The tales of Jobel the Bard, the creation of Humblewood and the feats of the Amaranthine, or the pantheon of this world. And you recognize from their movements, from their dance, from the music and the lights, they are telling the tale of the creation of Humblewood itself. The dark night that turned into this bright sunbeam, giving birth to the Dawn Mother, Andrea, and the Night Father, Titan. The creation of the moon of this world, the moons of this world, where Titan basically made himself a friend to travel the night sky with. The tale of the Crest Mountains, where it was Altus who, the Amaranthine of storms and tempest, who picked up a titanic creature that you are probably most familiar with this tale at this time, dragging this titanic creature up far above this plane of existence before smashing it down. The movements of these dancers, as you're enthralled in the story, recognizing them as they go, are just mind-blowing. The fluidity to it, the shapes they can form. At one point, they all sort of huddle underneath a very big kind of silk sheet and let their shadows tell the tale as they go. And as soon as they finish the tale of the crest itself, there is a pause as they all kind of raise their hands, bow. The lights go out for a second before a single spotlight reappears back onto that same initial dancer. And in the second half of the show, they begin to weave a tale that's a little more dangerous than the first. The music picking up the tempo, the lights starting to flicker just a little bit on and off. One of them appears like right in front of your face before going out and moving to the side to appear in front of someone else's face. And as you're focusing, it's not a fairy tale that you recognize so much as perhaps a folk tale that they heard at one point and are interpreting into this dance. The tale tells of this battle in the Crest Mountains between different factions of humble folk and bird folk, all clashing at the base of the mountain. The tale tells of this battle raging on for years and years with raging on for years and years with nobodies who strive to greatness, training and leading their forces to a victory. And the tale tells of the heroic actions of one of these nobodies, a young critter, a young humble folk, who, under the banner of Henwin the Kind, strikes down the forces antagonistic to them in the Crest Mountains through the striking lightning of the final blow. The tale tells of a piece of rock shooting out from the mountain, forming a very deep cavern in the middle of the crest. And you can see, or you can hear the point that the lightning is said to strike the mountain. There's a boom that ripples throughout the crowds. People jump back in shock as they're so enraptured by the performance. You see through the opening of this set into the crest glitters gold, treasures of all kind, things touched by the amaranthine Henwin themselves. And you see the tale end with a collapsing of this tunnel and a shout of joy from the worshippers of Henwin below. You, on the edge of your seat, enraptured by this tale itself, are just watching and waiting, breath held as the whoops fade, the one figure kind of holding their fist high, seeming to yell out to Henwin above. And as you are watching, the lights starting to flicker off, the music starting to fade, letting your breath out before you hear boom, 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 boom. The crowd kind of, it was over. I thought the show was over. You start to hear crashes. You start to hear shouts. You start to hear screaming, getting closer and closer and closer to the tent as you realize, almost a little too late, a blast blaring right outside the entrance to the tent, flames starting to lick up the side of the tent, and the inside of the crowd just starting to scream. The servant from before throwing up lights to light everything up, the performers kind of looking around confused in their final pose. And you can hear outside shouts, perch guard that seem to be yelling orders and commands around, and one single voice kind of piercing the air around you in the stilled silence of this massive high top. They've broken the north gate! The bandits are here. They've broken the north gate. Reinforcements. What would you like to do?
Woo! I'm never gonna get my gloves.
Mrs. Q, who managed to remain rather calm throughout the whole thing, though had some odd feelings while watching the show itself. Turns to Elle and says, "Have you ever fought in a battle?"
She looks at you and thinks, "Not on purpose."
Okay.
Is her response.
Do you need a weapon?
She'll pull out a dagger. No.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Sir Basil is going to kind of jump, immediately turn to Lavender and Lemongrass and say, almost kind of like in like a big brother kind of telling sibling what to do, like, get to safety, get out of here. And then he's going to just focus on the danger, kind of start rushing towards the entrance and just yelling for everyone to get to safety as he's heading towards the entrance.
All right. It's now panicking in here. Flames licking up the side of the tent. people are starting to run and jostle. Lavender kind of grabs onto Lemongrass's hand, kind of looks at you, and is just going to bolt, terrified. She has not left Humblewood or Alderheart the way you had. And as she just sort of like makes a beeline for it towards the entrance, kind of jostling with the rest of the crowd towards the main entrance, flames licking up the side, screams and shouts, continued bangs. Where are you guys going?
Towards the north gate.
Yeah, there's only one entrance from the tent, right? Just the entrance that we came from.
One main entrance that you can see, but the way the tent is kind of set up is there's no like walls to the tent. It's all open. It's floating, magic.
Okay.
So you could leave through anywhere, but in their panic, everyone is leaving out the way they came as the easiest thing to do. Just kind of almost as an instinct per se. They're leaving out the side opposite of the fire, if that makes sense.
And the fire's from the north?
You would have a rough idea being in Alderheart a couple days. The fire is on the north side, yes.
Okay. Sir Basil books it towards the fire.
Right. I would like everyone to check their WhatsApp or a map. Password is Vesta.
Besta?
And Elle, Vesta.
Besta.
Elle, we don't have a character icon for you yet. So you are currently a little white pigeon from the book.
Did you send the link out?
I did. Oh, I sent it just to Steph.
I was gonna say, did you put it in the right group?
I was gonna say I have it.
Sorry. Have you used Owlbear Rodeo before, Steph?
Nope.
Okay, it's an amazing tool. Eric gets credit for finding it because I'm just copying off of him. Essentially, you can control your little token, but it's in place of an interactive 3D map with minis. But if you have it up, you should see like a bunch of tents almost in the map. And you should see the group of you, which is basically where the circus tent is. It's a bit of a weird long map. Who's moving my ball pin around?
Yo, I see the servum. Oh, there's multiple servums. Never mind.
The Horn Devil.
Yeah, so just ignore the water itself. This is a ripped off map from the internet. But you should be able to move around your own little token. I have tried to put names on everybody. It's quite small. But your token is 5 feet. Every little square on the map is 5 feet to give you an idea of distance. And this is kind of how you're in charge of your own token, move wherever you want within your movement, and that's about it. And if you have questions, obviously, just ask.
Dace is running
Dace
around.
is running around.
I am Speed.
It's still leg day.
Dennis has a habit of touching things he shouldn't.
It's that or Dace is like fire, fire, just like panicking, running around.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of what's going on right now. Is everybody in the map? Sorry, just want to make sure.
Yep.
Everybody got their good? Okay. So everybody, all of the crowd is leaving out this way. If you can see my little marker. Where you are is the fire. There is a building here, so you technically don't have any visibility past like this point here. Just use the theater of the mind kind of going on here.
Okay.
So hearing the shouts, kind of going in the opposite direction of where you see everybody fleeing. As you go towards the part of the tent full of fire, the entire side is complete flames. Anybody who is going to try and run through, I am going to need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Dace would be stupid.
Like, sorry, through the north side?
Straight through the north side here. You're trying to run straight through to the shortest way. You are going to be running straight through fire, as everything on the outside of this tent has caught fire too. If you choose to go around, you absolutely can. Sorry?
Could I like run, but then use my wings to like propel like a gust of wind to like the area that I'm going to run into, to like try to put out the fires?
I'm gonna say go ahead and give me an athletics check to see how strong you can actually make that gust, and we'll go from there. I like it though.
I rolled a 10.
A what?
A 10?
A 10? It definitely helps. So it can absolutely help you and whoever's gonna run with you straight through the flames. Thanks, love. That actually helps a lot. It'll make it a little bit easier for you to get through, but you still might get singed. So yeah, exactly where Sean put the fire is where the fire is. Whoever's going to be running through the fire, I will need. We're not in the initiative at this point in time, but I will need saves from whoever's going through.
I rolled 12.
I rolled a 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically go like the green eye flaming mode. And get a little bit more health before I run through. And I rolled a 9.
A 9? Okay. Elle, are you going straight through the flames? Did you want to go a different way? It's totally up to you.
Can Elle see that the new friends she's made and other people are going to be trying to run through the fire? Can she kind of see and figure that that's probably the quickest way out?
You see the 3 of the 4 boys go straight through the fire of your new friends. Take that as you will.
Very poorly.
But it definitely seems to be the place that people are running away from in this case.
Okay. Well, Elle is going to be next to Mrs. Q and can kind of see that she hasn't told her how old she is, but she's an old hedge and probably determined she should not be running through anything.
I was looking to you to what to do.
No, she's looking at Mrs. Q and saying, well, I don't think Mrs. Q is going to be running through the fire.
How big is after Dace like blew at the fire with his wings, how big are we talking is the fire right now?
Huge, like licking up the whole height of the tent. Like it's kind of catching everything in that area.
Okay.
It's interesting because you notice like the tree of Alderheart itself doesn't seem to be catching fire, but like the barrels, the tents, the goods, and stuff like that seems to be catching fire.
Okay. In which case, Mrs. Q really doesn't want to patch her apron again. So she suggests that Elle and I go around the other way.
All right.
I'll go with them too.
You're going to go the other way? Okay.
Yeah.
So the 3 who ran through, if you rolled above a 10, you take 1 point of fire damage. If you rolled below a 10, you take 2. Thanks to Dace's help, kind of making it a little bit easier to get through. And those of you going the other way, like you can move your movement around the side that does not currently have fire to it.
Yeah, Elle is going to watch the other parties run through, and she seems hesitant to leave and kind of almost looks like she's about to do something, but instead goes with Apoc and Mrs. Q. She's got one wing kind of around, trying to keep her hood up as she runs.
All right.
Make sure Cam doesn't die.
Again.
No promises.
Someone died?
Oh, that's a story for another day.
All right, so as you're jostling kind of back and forth, we're gonna go, so the boys are gonna be, you're on my left. The boys are gonna be team A. Apoc and the girls are gonna be team B. Sorry, team 1, team 2, whatever.
Team A and team 1.
We're gonna kind of hop back and forth.
Team Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
So like everyone will kind of get an action before we get into initiative, and then we'll kind of go from there. So just be patient with me as I try to handle this. Is a big battle. All right, so the boys, Cam, Dace, and Basil. As you run up, you kind of come face to face with 2 perch guard who are running from this direction here. and you kind of like hit them all at once. And they sort of look at you, kind of take you in really quickly, see that you're armed. This way, they're this way. They've knocked down the front gate. They've taken the merchant cart that just came in. Get them out of here if you can. And they are going to book it to start engaging with whoever they can.
Okay, I thought when you said book it, I thought you meant like
Fend for
the wrong
yourself.
direction.
Yeah.
No. They're gonna just try and start engaging.
Okay.
What are you guys doing, the three of you?
Can I climb up this little up this banner?
Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Oh, okay.
I'm remembering when you tried to do stuff with the tree.
Yeah.
But it's looking like a tightrope here. Oh my goodness, 14.
That'll be enough. It's a little bit easier than a tree. You can jump on barrels, jump on the top, and jump onto the roof.
Sounds good.
How tall is the roof? Yeah.
So where he is like the lower part. So it's like the 1-story building, that big roof. Oh, here, I can actually point. So Dace is here on this roof. That's like the 1-story roof. This is a 1-story roof. This is a 2-story roof.
How tall is a 1-story roof?
And 10
Typically in here, like 8-foot ceiling.
This is an 8-foot. Okay, 10 feet off the ground.
Okay. Because I can, from a base high jump, so like no running start, can jump up to 15 feet. Can I jump onto the roof and try and get like, essentially jump from where I am to the first roof and then to the second roof, just to get some elevation?
Yes, I will say you're able to do that with your movement. And from your vantage point, Basil, you can see everything that's happening below. This is all at ground level. You do see this one bandit that is up on the roof as well, also gaining vantage. But you have eyes on everything. Dace, where you are, you have eyes on everything except for like this side that you cannot see.
Okay.
Cam.
Where the heck did everybody go? Am I by myself down here? I'm gonna keep running. Well, I guess I'll just do my best and stab this guy.
Okay. Go ahead. This is going to be like the starting action, and then we're going to roll initiative. Oh, I need stats.
Is this character engaged with someone that I would consider my ally?
The perch guard. Yeah.
Like, does an ally have to be in your part? Yeah, it's a perch guard. You're fighting them together, I would say.
That's a nat 1.
Oof.
Eric, stop it. All right, so critical fail. We're gonna do something a little bit more. As you go to stab, you kind of like get tripped up a little bit, realizing that Dace is up on the roof. I want you to roll me one more attack as you're kind of swinging a little wild and might accidentally clip the guard itself.
It's a 2.
Bro.
It's okay.
Well, sorry, 2 plus.
It does not hit the guard. Don't worry, I'll just stop you right there. Yeah.
A total of 7.
The guard is a little confused as it kind of like dings off your armor as his armor as you're just sort of shaking yourself out and prepare again for like I got you, bro, kind of situation before he goes to take another swing in. And I'm gonna get the 3 of you to go ahead and roll some initiative for me.
Oh, there it is. Nat 20.
Hilarious.
What a ways.
23.
Okay.
The dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
So Cam, you're at a 23.
Yeah.
Dace and Basil, what are you guys at?
I was a 13.
And Dace?
6.
Okay. 13 and Dace at a 6. All right. We're going to pause on you guys for a second. Team 2, You get one kind of action move sort of situation. What are you doing?
I guess because Mrs. Q is, I guess, trying to use this as a teachable moment. Could she make it all the way up to Bandit 1?
Yeah.
25 feet.
Yeah, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You could go right here on the trench. 1, 2, 3.
I'll let her make it. Just let her make it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can help because if you can't quite get there, there was something I was thinking too because we're all kind of just running in.
Just a little boost.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna roll to shoot as Miss Q's running up. Apoc's just gonna pull an arrow and shoot this first bandit.
Okay.
As you see a swarm pick up with it, I'm gonna hit because it's like a 24.
Okay.
I need you to roll a strength saving throw.
Okay. Oh, it's pretty good.
Oh.
18.
Fine. It doesn't get pulled towards us.
Oh, that's unfortunate. How much?
Oh, I have to roll damage.
Yeah.
That's like Scorpion, like, get over here.
As you hear, check out my board log. Oh, that's the wrong die. It's been a while.
Hilarious.
Ooh, that's much better. 10 points of damage. Piercing damage.
10 points of piercing damage?
Yeah, as Apoc just shoots this arrow with these fleas swarming after it, trying to move this object, but he just holds fast and steady as the arrow just pierces into his upper chest.
And flings him backwards as Mrs. Q, your way is no longer blocked by this first bandit handily taken care of by Apoc.
Every time.
I wasn't trying to kill him, I swear. I didn't think he'd fall that fast. And then I'm just gonna run up behind her too.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't have any ranged weapons.
You don't have any ranged spells or anything?
Oh, I guess I could cast a spell. But now that the first attack has been made, I guess we need to roll initiative on our end too, right?
So Elle gets a chance to do something, and then we'll roll initiative. This is kind of like a round to prepare sort of situation.
Sorry, Q, I thought he'd be stronger.
That's okay, dear. I'm never going to be upset about you defeating an enemy.
So Elle, having seen Mrs. Q and Apoc moving, she's going to move with them. She's got 25 feet. Seeing Apoc pull out a bow, she'll say, "Oh, I have one of those too," and also pull out a bow. I'm wondering, like, I know we're not initiative, but like as a bonus, I'm wondering if I can wing flap up to, I can go about 12 feet. I'm wondering if I can get up onto the canopy as well.
Yeah.
Or if I've already used all my movement.
You have 25 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You have about 5 feet of movement left, Elle.
Okay.
Does it count against your movement to use your flap?
It says it's a bonus action, but we're not technically in initiative yet, so I can always just stay on the ground for now.
No, that's fine. If it's a bonus action, go for it.
All right, then she's gonna quite gracefully and kind of without much much thought. But again, as she jumps up, she's still gonna hold her hood to her head.
Mm-hmm. All right. As Elle prepares, everyone prepares. Now I'm gonna need some initiative from you three.
$14 for Mrs. Q.
14 for Mrs. Q.
17 for Apoc.
17 for Apoc, and Elle.
19.
19.
Nice.
Yeah.
So give me a second to roll some stuff here too.
It's you squeaking. There's somebody
It's
outside.
me, it's me.
That was a little birdie.
No, although that would be cute. in retrospect, I should have had these up.
No, it's okay.
But we're here now. So
We actually haven't had combat in a while.
I know.
Yeah, it's been a
quite
while.
some time. I'm out of practice, guys. My dice are gonna be out of practice. Okay, and one more. All right. Okay, so we are now in initiative. We're going to be bouncing back and forth between the groups based on initiatives. That's going to be a little easier to keep track of. First up is going to be Camembert.
Okay. All right. Well, I missed once. I'm gonna try again, and I'm just gonna go shh, shh, shh to the Vulpin as I try and like slowly thrust my dagger into a soft area.
Awful. Go for it.
That's the game I know.
Come on. 9.
Ooh.
Get rid. Is that with advantage?
No.
The guard is still there.
No, I was just looking for sneak attack, so I don't have advantage on the strike.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair.
So that's that. As I'm like just whispering shh, and like I just tap on his armor.
It's just a little too far away from you, and you
Yeah.
have to reach to touch it.
I think I'm gonna work my way around this way. That's my turn.
All right. Next up. Next up is the one right in front of the two Vulpins, essentially, the two Vulpin captains. So Camembert, the one beside you and the perch guard is going to make one attack at each of you against you. The natural 20.
Of course.
Oh,
Love it. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Kill him.
Oh my god.
That's Sean saying kill him.
I can't handle this. All right.
Oh boy.
All right, so you take 10 points of piercing damage from the short sword as they make a swing towards you. And then kind of switching their grip around, they're going to make one more swing towards the perch guard, unless you're doing anything, Cam.
No, I'm taking it. How much damage was that again?
10 piercing.
All right.
So not too bad.
No.
And then it's going to take another swipe towards the birdfolk militia, and is going to hit him as well. All right. And as he gets hit, you can see the short sword that this Vulpin has is going to kind of sink itself into the captain. He kind of grunts a little bit, a little more blood than you would have expected. And that's Perch Guard 4. And then the Vulpin captain here is going to kind of take a run towards the perch guard that's kind of huddled next to the house and is going to take another swipe there and is going to miss with that one. Next in the order is Elle. And from your vantage
You're muted,
point,
Steph.
from your vantage point, Elle, you can see. No, you can actually see pretty much everything except for Dace and Basil, who are on the opposite side and above you.
So she's gonna move a little bit closer just to be on the edge of the canopy. So she's looking at the bandit that is engaged with the perch guard.
Okay.
And she's gonna take a shot with her short bow.
Okay. Go for it.
It's a 6.
You accidentally step on a soft part of the roof, and your arrow unfortunately goes a little bit wide of this Vulpin here.
I squawk a little as I lose my balance.
Oh. Bonus action on your turn, Elle?
Kind of regaining my regaining my footing. How high is the roof behind me?
So it's going to be another like 10 feet up.
Okay. I believe with my wing flap, I could make it up there.
Yeah, you could.
So she's going to kind of just kind of propel herself up again. And as she does, her hood falls back. You can see her entire head is bright white with feathers. And then once she gets back up, she kind of just writes it again. If anyone was watching her during that point, but she's back up and now she's a little higher. So from where she is now, can she see the other side of the area? So can she see Dace and Basil and Cam?
Yeah, so you can see Basil. You can see all of this is now open to you here, including Mrs. Q and Apoc. Dace is one level below you and kind of sheltered to the house, so he's going to be a little harder to see, but you can see the entire battlefield.
Perfect.
All right, Apoc, you are up.
Okay, I'm gonna push past Miss Q to get in front of her. From where I am, do I know there's a bandit at the top roof at the servant, the far point? Is that within visibility or no?
The bandit here.
8, yeah.
From where you are, no. So you do have this guy in the way.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see the little Gerbean at the back, bandit 2.
Bandit 2. Yes, this guy you can see. You have clear line of sight to him.
Okay, I'm gonna draw another arrow and seeing him just standing on the roof at the back, I'm gonna loose one in his direction.
All right, go for it.
Before I do that, can I use Hunter's Mark as a bonus action?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. That's an 18 to hit.
Yeah, you loose your arrow and it thumps right into your target.
Okay, trailing with the arrow is going to be the swarm of fleas, also adding to that damage. Oops, I don't know this one. That is going to be 20 points of piercing damage.
As your arrow knocks a second bandit down, hitting him as he slides unconscious off the roof. And it's gone.
Got a sniper in the.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a bonus D6 for Hunter's Mark, a bonus D6 from the swarm, and then it's a D8.
Wow.
Which I may have rolled close to max damage.
Yeah, I figured.
Nice.
That's my turn.
Here I am. I couldn't pop a balloon if I tried.
Yeah, a rough time. All right. So that's your turn,
Yeah.
Apoc? Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, next was his go, so he can't really do anything. So that's unfortunate. So next, you all hear some shouting, kind of amidst everything coming from more of this back area. I believe this guy is hidden from you all right now. This guy is hidden from most of you. But you do kind of hear some shouting, and it would be something like, "We got what we needed. Let's go," kind of situation. You won't really see it, but this guy is going to start to retreat and leave everybody's view. So yeah, Basil, you won't be able to see anymore. Even Elle and Dace, you won't be able to see this one retreating now that he's farther behind this very tall building here.
But we know that they were retreating.
Well, you saw that one kind of run away. You kind of heard battle cries going on, instructions being said pretty much.
Okay.
Mrs. Q, you are up.
Okay. Mrs. Q is now going to run towards bandit number 6 and try to whoop him with her baton.
Bandit number 6. Okay, go for it.
That was a 4.
No, hold on. So is bandit number 6 distracted because they tried to attack perch guard number 1?
We're not going to be playing with like flanking rules or anything like that, so no advantage in this case.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you go and your swing goes a little bit wide, maybe a little bit concerned about where Elle went, considering she was on your arm and now she's gone. Anything else on your turn, Mrs. Q?
That's all I can do.
All right, Basil, you are up.
Okay. Okay. Do I leave bandit 6 to you, or do I try and attack it?
I'm not having much luck right
now. I guess seeing that Mrs. Q and the perch guard have bandit 6, because I can do a standing long jump of, how far is it? 30 feet.
Oh.
So essentially I can jump my whole movement. I'm going to jump from the 2nd story to attack bandit number 3.
Attack bandit number 3. Oh, that's so cool. Amazing. Go for it. Love it.
As I leap into the air, I'm going to use as my bonus action, Giant's Might. So like at first I'm like this like tiny little dart jumping through the air. And then I grow, I grow from smaller to become large. So essentially like I just become like this giant like tank of a Derby just landing on this guy. And I'm going to try and like essentially like spear him with my sword.
That's terrifying.
Okay. Jeez. That's a 6. So I assume that misses.
Guys!
You all need new dice.
Guys!
This is terrible.
Your weight as you become large is slowing you down mid-jump, and you don't quite get your attack off as you land in front of him, unfortunately.
Okay, and I think that's pretty much all I can do.
Oh. All right, next up is going to be another couple of the bandits. Madly flipping. Another couple of the bandits as the 2 servants, the one that I don't think any of you actually saw him on the, oh no, the one that Elle and Basil saw on the roof, and the one just over here is going to take out some crossbows and is going to aim them. One of them is going to be aimed at the perch guard right in front here, and the one on the roof is going to aim for the giant gerbine that just appeared in the middle of the setting and is attacking his dude. So to hit against you, Basil, it's going to be a 21.
Yeah, that is.
Right.
Which bandit is this?
So this is the guy on the roof here, kind of like a sniper situation.
Okay.
And it is going to be, I rolled Garbo. That's going to be 4 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
And then the bandit here is going to miss the perch guard, the arrow just going a little bit wide. And after they take their shot, you see this one kind of vanish from the top of the roof and starts making his way away. And this one is going to kind of follow suit, keeping eyes just a little bit on the battle ahead, a little bit out of everyone's range. Next up are the perch guards. That's going to just kind of take a swing. I'm just going to roll once for all of them because there's far too many to worry about them all. They are going to all right, so the perch guard, the 2 next to you here, Basil, as one of them kind of moves over, the other one taking steps towards the servant itself. Cutting into the bandit in front of you, they take kind of a deep gash as this bandit is now wounded very, very deeply and cornered in this corner here. Not looking so great at all. Where is it? The perch guard with you, Cam. Perch guard with you, Cam. Both of them go to swing and both of them miss. And the perch guard in front of you, Mrs. Q, again goes to swing and misses wide as the Vulcans seem a little bit faster than the Apocs. Dace, you are up next.
Can I glide to bandit number 7, and I will take out my talons to try to take out his eyes and blind him.
Definitely go for it. Are you calling your shots in this case?
Yeah, I'll aim for the eyes.
Okay, it's going to be a little bit harder of an attack, but if you do hit, you definitely could do some heavy damage.
So do I roll a disadvantage or?
No, so you're going to roll your talon attack, so d20 plus whatever it is for your talons.
Okay. It's a 14.
It's a 14. So aiming straight for the eyes as you try and go in, it's a little bit harder to hit such a small target. And unfortunately, even though you do kind of clip their face, you do not hit their eyes specifically. But you technically do hit their armor class, just not their eyes, so you can still go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah, okay.
I believe it's just a d4.
It's a 4.
A 4? Okay.
And then as a bonus action, since I did land an attack with my talons, could I try, it says I could grapple him as a bonus action.
Really? That's terrifying. Let me make sure. Bonus action, bonus action. Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. That's awesome. I didn't know you had that. That's so cool. All right. You successfully attack a target with your talons. You can choose to grapple that target as a bonus action. I think it just happens. You can choose to check. I think it just happens.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll play it that way for now, and then I'll double check.
Sounds good.
Because I don't actually know, but it's fine. This is not a make it or break it kind of fight. So yeah, so with your bonus action, you can go ahead and kind of like wrap your arms around the Vulcan and just kind of pin him in place as you grapple him after a successful attack. So you didn't do as much damage as you hoped, but you were able to grab him. I think that's the end of your turn, Dace. Next up is going to be the one bandit that no one has really been able to see up until this point. And as you can kind of see very quickly, a hedge, really gnarled looking with an eye patch, kind of run around the corner and just throw their hand out. This kind of deep, like dark, smoky energy is going to whip out and basically blindside the perch guard right in front of him. And completely miss with a natural 1. As he kind of just shoots off an attack and just continues to run, following the 2 servants. I don't think he can actually get that far. He's probably right around here. And the poor Apoc, who's standing right in front of Basil and the perch guard, cornered in, can't really see a way out, is going to gonna try and take one swipe at the giant gerbine in front of him. An 8, I'm assuming, doesn't hit you, Basil.
No.
And misses very poorly. And in his attempt to kind of get away, is going to try and at least make it to the opposite side. 1, 2, 3. He's actually going to try and bolt and run. Knowing that he's a little bit pinned in and cornered. So if you want to take an opportunity attack as he leaves your range, Basil, you can.
Sure.
Yeah, the perch guard is going to do the same. Not going to make it.
That's 17.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Finish him.
Now this is like, let me see here. This is not considered my turn, right? This is an opportunity.
This is your reaction. Yeah, your opportunity attack.
Okay. That's 14 damage.
And the Apoc falls as you slash at him as he goes to leave your range, and just lies unconscious on the floor or on the ground in the middle of the trunk market.
I just imagine just like backhanding him, like.
Yeah, that works too in your giant form.
Quick question though.
Yes.
Bandit number 5, as they kind of like did the blinding thing and tried to book it.
Yeah.
What would I, from where I was standing, would I have seen? Can I identify, or are they kind of like they're hidden behind something, so they're not in my sight anymore?
From where you are, like this is a tent right here.
Mm-hmm.
So they are kind of blocked from your sight. Even though you're a little bit taller, there's also the corner of this house. So you wouldn't have seen them run by either, because you were facing the bandit in front of you, and you would not have seen the smoke attack. That was a little too far away for you at that point.
Okay, cool.
The only one who would have seen something would have been Elle. Mrs. Q, you might have seen something. Apoc, you might have seen something, but I don't think you would have had a good visual on it.
We just saw the commotion.
Yeah, you would have just seen more commotion. But Elle, you would have had, you're the only one high enough, you would have had a view of that guy run by and then disappear behind that hut. All right, back up at the top of the order. Cam.
So I'm going to lean over to the bandit and go, I was going to make it nice and quick. My strig friend here is going to be slow and messy. Good luck. As I take off, 1, 2, 3. Does he attack me as I go?
With the grapple, I think it's just a disadvantage, I want to say.
Grapple.
It's just no movement.
Just no movement.
Yeah.
1, 2.
He's grappled. There's guys here. I think he's gonna try and take a swing.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll try and take a swing. You've been hilarious so far. He took a big gouge out of you, so he'll try and finish you as you go. Does a 19 hit?
You're going to have to try harder with those big talons across your body, as I'm going to cast with my reaction Silvery Barbs and give him,
what does that do again?
Give him disadvantage.
Okay. Natural 1.
Woo!
Good save.
And then with that, I'm going to feel empowered as I bonus action dash, run up to the perch guard, try to take a look around. Do I see anybody?
From where you are right now?
Correct. I still have some movement left.
From where you are right now, you can see Bandit 6, you can see Mrs. Q, Apoc, the perch guard. If you look up, you can see Elle. Getting there, now you can see these two.
I'm going to go attack the Bandit 5 guy if I can get there. Well, I can get there.
You can get there, yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
So as you sneak your way under that one canopy around the corner, Oh, I gotta.
That is a 15 to hit.
You just hit this
Yay.
guy.
Okay, so with my my booming blade, whatever you want to call it, that'll be 9, 10, 11 plus 3, 14 points of piercing damage.
Boom.
Oh, yikes! You take this this huge slash out of this guy. As he was like running away, you kind of cut off a couple quills of this hedge, and he turns and snarls at you. His face even more gnarled than before. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Is Booming Blade the one where if they run away, they keep? Okay, good. Love it. Awesome. Okay, next up are the Vulpins. So first and foremost, Bandit 6 in front of you, Mrs. Q, is going to go ahead and take a swipe at you and a swipe at the perch guard. So first a swipe at you. 21 to hit, Mrs. Q.
Yep, that'll hit.
Easy roll.
All right, and it's going to be, oh my gosh. It's going to be 4 points of piercing damage in that front. And to the perch guard, that is also going to hit. Perch guard, they take, flip. You see the perch guard in front of you fall to the ground, Mrs. Q, as the Vulpin deals a pretty hefty blow. Turn him over. As the Vulpin deals a pretty hefty blow before kind of turning and looking at you very intently. And then now being free of one of you is going to turn and use their movement to try and run. You do get an attack of opportunity if you want to take it.
Absolutely. Gonna try and whoop him with my pen again.
Go for it.
Really all Mrs. Q wants to do. Okay. Oops.
She missed the tray.
Roll again. Elle, you're on deck.
You need to roll into a frying pan.
Yeah.
Cast
Yeah.
it again.
That's an 11.
11. Unfortunately, you miss as he seems to be able to evade your frying pan once more. Elle, you are up. Apoc on deck.
So
Oh,
Elle's kind of
One more Vulpin. I forgot.
Okay, go.
I grappled with Dace. He is going to go ahead and try and make both attacks against you, Dace, since you are grappling him and holding him, and that's upsetting. Flo, do you want to confirm?
Oof, that's another nat 20.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Lies. So as his first strike with the short sword is 12 points of piercing damage to you.
But a scratch.
Second attack, seeing that the first one hits. Ooh, does a 14 hit you?
14 is my AC.
All right, so it does hit, doing another 5 points of piercing damage to you, Dace, as he's trying to get out of you, slashing at you. The grapple not happy. Are you still up?
Yeah.
Okay. And is unable to move since you're still grabbing him. Sorry, Elle. Now you're up.
So Elle's kind of just been watching everything happening. She's seen Basil get really big. She's seen Cam run all the way across. She's seen poor Miss Q again not get to whack a bandit. So from where she is, she can still see Bandit 6.
Bandit.
About 25 feet away.
Yes, you can still see Bandit 6.
What you want to do? So she's going to shout, "Mrs. Q, I want you to get one." And she's going to cast Entangle on Bandit 6. And at this point, her hood does fly back and her eyes, and I don't know if anyone can see her, but her eyes start glowing pure white.
Amazing.
Ooh.
What does entangle do?
Entangle. Grafting weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square starting from point within range. And it's got a 90-foot range. So it's pretty much going to be centered on the bandit because I also didn't want to hit anyone else with it.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect for Mrs. Q. She can go up and propagate it and then whack him with a
A creature in the area must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. So the save is a strength of 12. And I'm concentrating on this.
They don't have very good strength, but they rolled a 13.
Oh.
Sorry, Elle.
Okay, she tried. So that's her action. I think she might take her movement to actually come back to the ground because I don't think there's much else she feels she can do from up here.
All right. Yeah, not a problem. You're able to glide down, no problem at all. And yeah, just like you put yourself wherever you want to go.
I'm gonna go right beside Mrs. Q. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I tried.
It's all right, dear. I'll get one eventually.
All right. That's your turn, Elle. Apoc, you are up.
Okay, I'm running up, seeing Cam dart across. The perch guard's running up. I'm going to avoid Bandit 6 and where the growth was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Use my action to dash to get double movement. And run around getting an eye on what's happening up here around these houses. What do I see?
What you see there, you see everything. You see the Georgina running away. Off map, just as a heads up to give a bit more flavor.
Yeah.
You can see that there is like a battle raging. There are bandits fighting with the perch guard, but it looks like a lot of the bandit force is starting to retreat a little bit. It looks like the elevators and the stairs that you use to get up and down Humblewood, for example, it looks like they have control of the north elevator. And you can see that they are hurriedly putting, dropping the elevator down. It seems like these bandits have sacks over their shoulders as other of their kind are protecting them. It looks almost to you from this point that this was like a raid on supplies, knowing that a lot of people were here from a lot of different areas. And it looks like they are retreating with their spoils.
And I can see one of them with the sack.
So you can see, like, for just intents and purposes, this Georgina looks like he's got a couple sacks, a couple whatever is in them at the time, but like the majority of this is at the elevator, which is kind of off map.
That Georgina, the one that doesn't look like a fighter, more like a runner, I just want to bonus action move my hunter's mark to him.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So this guy is.
And that's all I can do.
All right. Next is going to be this Georgina, who is going to turn tail and run kind of over towards the elevator. He's going to take his movement. He's going to take his action and just get as far away as possible for his basically his whole turn and join the retreating force hopping into the elevator as it starts to descend. Mrs. Q, you're next. Basil, you're on deck.
Okay, so after, would I have been able to see Dace? And
there's still this guy.
I know, but would I have been able to see Dace and all of the hits he just took?
So from where you are, these are stalls, like they're tented stalls. Okay. You'd see maybe like the perch guard here. You might see the bandit kind of struggling a bit, but I don't know. You could infer Dace is there. I don't know if you would see Dace there.
Okay.
Did someone just move Dace so that he's like closer up?
I did.
You can see me, I swear.
I'm just gonna move Dace here, Dennis, just so I don't forget that the bandit exists. Dennis.
I'm not.
Sean, was that you?
No, it's not me.
For sure, it's for sure, Dennis.
So I wouldn't
I
necessarily.
will kill your character. Okay.
So I wouldn't know that he would have taken damage. Like I wouldn't have been able to see the altercation.
You would have seen a struggle for sure, but you could infer Dace is there. You just can't see him, so you don't know how bad he looks, for example.
Okay. In which case, I guess I'll hold off on heading over there and make my way to Bandit 6. This little sneaky Pete that keeps evading me.
Sneaky Pete.
I just picture this old woman with the get back here, you little.
Let me see.
To upgrade you to cast iron.
Oh my god, that's really silly.
Pete, watch out. She's gonna kill you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna. Oh, maybe I could do this. Okay, this is what we will do. So Mrs. Q like raises her battle pan ready to smoke him in the face, and then looks at the battle pan and changes her mind and casts Word of Radiance on this guy instead.
Okay. What does that do? Is there a save?
Yes, a con save.
Con save. Oh no, a 6.
There you go.
You failed the con save.
All right, so what happens?
You take 1d6 radiant damage.
No, who changed the name of this? I don't know who bandit he is.
Pete the Sneaky.
Bandit 6.
Pretty sure it was Bandit 6. Okay, what was the...
The damage is 4 radiant damage.
4 radiant damage. Great. Dealing with children over here. All right, as he gets hit with this radiant light and kind of looks back at you, realizes it's you again, and it's just going to snarl and turn back to face you, sword in hand. Basil, you are up.
Okay, I'm going to move up 10 feet. I'm going to take a swing at Pete the Sneaky.
You're right. Go ahead.
That is
Much better.
a 20 to hit.
Absolutely.
And that's going to do, we need an extra d6.
Holy moly.
7, 8. That's going to do 10 damage.
And damage. All right. Coming to Mrs. Q's aid, the bandit that was snarling suddenly takes this huge hit, kind of caught off guard, and glares at the two of you now, kind of cornering him in. Anything else on your turn, Basil?
He's not dead yet?
Nope.
Wow.
Okay, in that case.
You walked over all of my spiders.
Okay.
They need to last more than one hit, guys.
Well, it's fine. In that case, because I hit, as soon as my sword strikes him, you're gonna see, like, essentially like light from underneath the, what's it called, Corvum?
What?
Is it Corvum?
Pete?
Underneath Pete the Sneaky, you're gonna see light, like almost like a rune symbol appear underneath them, and fire chains are gonna shoot out of the ground and grapple this guy.
All right.
And he is going to have to do, let me see. Okay, so first do a strength saving throw check.
Strength save?
Yep.
7. I only roll well when I'm attacking camp.
Okay, so first he's restrained, and then he's going to take an additional 6 damage.
Okay. He's restrained. He is restrained.
an additional 6 fire damage.
All right.
Is he still standing?
He's still standing. He thought he was going to get away, and after being restrained and squirming, facing off with Mrs. Q, you can kind of see that he's realizing he's not gonna get away without a fight in this
Are
game.
you kidding me?
All right.
Do I try and drop this fool? I can't believe he's still standing.
He's sneaky Pete.
You're level 3 now. They have to last more than a hit. You last more than a hit.
This is true.
Okay, seeing as he's restrained, and he's restrained for a minute, which is, I guess, like a round.
It's 10 rounds.
Okay, I'm going to use the rest of my movement, which is another 20 feet. So 1, 2, 3. So I can probably get about here. And I'm going to use, so it's probably just like Sir Basil sees he's restrained, thinks, with his cue, you got this, and books it. Realizing there's this bandit right in front of his face, he's going to use his action surge and try and attack Bandit 5.
What were the ruins, Basil?
It's just like, it's almost like it just says when you hit a creature with an attack using weapon, you can do this.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Sorry. Go for it. Thank you.
Did you want your opportunity attack?
I rolled a 7, so that's not going to hit.
Restrained, you're.
Restrained you don't.
Restrained is different. Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Andrew. Give me a second here. Oh, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I am taking it back a half second. As you moved out of his range, he's restrained, but he could still attack.
Okay, sure.
That was just my misunderstanding. He is going to take his opportunity attack at you, but at disadvantage.
Sure.
Good thing for that disadvantage, because one of those was a crit.
Oh,
That's going to be 19 to hit you at disadvantage.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay. I keep forgetting. And that's going to be 4 points of piercing damage as you run away.
cool.
Assuming you're still standing.
Yep.
Okay. Now you took an attack against the hedge.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, so I assume it's
7 does not hit as you go screaming around and miss a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up in the order are the servants. So this servant here is going to start booking it on an angle. And as he does, kind of seeing the trouble that his buddies are in, is going to take, I can't really see.
Take deadly aim. Take deadly aim.
He's,
Take deadly aim.
take deadly aim, maybe. And he's going to take a shot. I think he's going to take a shot at you, Apoc, since this was the one on the roof initially. So seeing your face again, he's going to go for it.
Hold up a second. I don't know if I need to determine this before or after it. If I see him firing at me, you're gonna see a barrier of ethereal spines appear around Apoc. So use my reaction.
Do you use your reaction?
AC is 18 now.
Oh, okay. So a 14.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Taking his action to do so, and then is going to. Yeah, it's just going to keep running. So using all of his movement and his jump. The servant here in front of all of this garbage is going to go ahead and take an actual swing with a sword instead of his bow, and is going to take a swing at you, Basil, since you are the one within melee of his buddy.
Cool.
And he is definitely played him wrong. He has 3 attacks that he's going to take against you. So the first you see him pull out this scimitar as he takes his first attack. That's a 4 to hit.
Yeah.
Second attack is going to be a 16.
Yep.
And a third attack with the dagger.
Is it another 20?
It's another 20.
Jeez.
Right.
No.
Oh boy.
Okay. So the first 2 hits with the scimitar. The first hit is going to do 5 slashing and 7 slashing. And then the dagger, I'm gonna double that 1 to a 2.
So 14 total?
So 2 plus 3, so it's 17 total. 17 total.
Oh.
But you said 7, 5, and then 2?
2 plus 3. Like it was 2 on the dice plus their modifier. So that final hit was 5 total points.
Okay, gotcha.
You still up?
Looking very, very rough.
Okay. All right. Can he do anything else? He can't do anything else, so he is going to, seeing that you're looking not great, kind of stay for backup with his buddy.
Okay. Seeing as he ends his turn right in front of me, I'm going to, as a reaction,
Oh boy.
Stone Rune, and he will have to do a Wisdom saving throw.
There's the even for the 20. That's a 3.
Oh, really? Okay. So in that case, the creature is now charmed by me 1 minute. So you probably see this like, and he just kind of like holds his arm out, a white light appears, and now this bandit 4 is charmed by me.
Okay, so bandit 4 is
The creature
charmed.
has a speed of 0 and is incapacitated, descending into a dreamy stupor.
Oh, cool. This is what you did to Kate. Got it.
Yeah. Whew.
All right. Cool. Next up is going to be the perch guard. All right. So seeing this elderly old lady who might need help, the perch guard is going to come and run to your aid, Mrs. Q. As 2 of them come up. One of them. Oh my gosh, I can't grab it.
Don't worry, I got you.
He's gonna be Dennis.
Where do you want him?
He's gonna be. There's a lot going on here. He's gonna try and get eyes on the situation, so he's gonna actually hang back. And then the one is with you. I'm gonna go run for all of them.
Is he perching?
Gonna hit. And then, okay. So the one against you, Dace, as this perch guard goes to just slice into him. As the perch guard goes to slice into this one in front of you, he takes a giant chunk out, and you can hear the bandit gasp in your grapple. He's hanging on by an absolute thread. And against the one in front of you, Mrs. Q, thank God for that advantage, because that was a critical failure. The one in front of you, Mrs. Q, as both of the perch guards swing into the restrained one and cut him down, saving this little old lady with the frying pan.
Oh.
As this bandit is no more.
You lit him up pretty good, though. You softened You have a soft-boiled egg for your pan.
Dace, you are up.
Okay, so you said that bandit number 7 is on the brink of death, like hanging by a thread.
Like in and out of consciousness kind of situation.
All right. If I throw him to the ground, or yeah, I just want to knock him unconscious so we can interrogate him later. Or is it like does he become unconscious, or is he just dead if he runs out of life points?
You can choose to do non-lethal damage. So Eric, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but you still make the attack and roll the damage, but you just choose to not kill them.
Yeah, if that's how you want to play it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could take my great sword. I think, yeah, I have it's a great axe. Sorry, great axe. And can I like pop him over the head to knock him unconscious?
Sure. In this case, I'm gonna say make an unarmed attack.
Unarmed?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for inspiration.
Do you have inspiration to spend?
I do.
Okay.
So I'll just roll it again. It's a 19.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Oh.
He has 1 hit point. Honest to goodness, he has 1 hit point, so like don't even worry about rolling damage. He is knocked unconscious by Dace. And just
All right.
kind of goes limp in your arms.
And I don't know if I have a point. This is a pointer? Yeah. So he's unconscious, so I'm just going to lay him right beside this little food. I'm guessing it's a stall, right? So I'm just going to lay him up here.
Gently pulling down, you know.
Yeah. Or just
in your arms.
and then I still have movement, so I'll just join the fight. Probably head towards Miss Q area.
All right, sounds good.
And every square is 5?
Every square is 5 feet, yeah.
3, 4, 5.
All right, so next is going to see. I did him wrong too. Goodness gracious, there's too much to keep track of. All right, he is going to the hedge in front of you, Basil. As he kind of snarls at you, he's going to pull this dark smoke once more and is going to shoot it your way. This magic seeming to just kind of hit you with an awful scent of fire smoke. And it's going to be a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it's going to be more than that. Oh, far more.
Those are good
18
movies.
to hit. 18 to hit.
Yep.
I'm going to use my reaction.
Okay.
Say, I don't like your stinky, smoky black stuff. And I'm going to give him disadvantage.
Okay. It's better.
No.
So you are going to be hit for 8 points of force damage. And as this smoke hits you, it is going to shove you backwards 10 feet.
Okay.
So
So
it's actually going to shove you straight into this guard.
and as I'm shoved back, fall to the ground, and I don't get back up.
Sir Basil is unconscious.
Yeah.
We're gonna use the gray circle. You can't see that. We're gonna use the green circle. We're gonna use the green circle to denote unconscious players.
I'll put
Green
myself
means
back.
good. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and as this guy sees that this works, he's going to turn tail and he is going to book it.
As he does, he takes 8 points of thunder damage as you just hear a boom explode off of him.
And he falls unconscious.
Pop.
I'll just move him off.
I like to think that Cam just like blew, like, and he fell over.
Yep, that's pretty accurate. All right, Cam, you are up.
Well, I'm gonna walk over to this guy and stab him.
Good. Elle, you're on deck, just
20,
FYI.
24 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
12. 12 points of damage with another booming strike.
Okay, 12 points?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, and this is the guy that's charmed. That's balls. All right. Well, okay, hold on a second here. This guy's charmed, that guy's unconscious. Technically, we're out of combat.
Yay! I keep stabbing. I just keep stabbing.
Really?
It gets real dark, real gruesome. But anyways, you guys can go ahead, talk about it amongst yourselves.
Do you actually, Cam?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, unless anyone stops you, this bandit is charmed. I don't think damage breaks the charm, Basil. Does he get a chance to roll out of it?
Let's see here.
It probably does.
Probably because he's unconscious, I'm guessing.
Incapacitated.
Oh, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. And
Oh, that's different. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a little different.
it hasn't moved yet, right?
No, it has not. Okay, it hasn't moved yet. My mistake. We're still in initiative. Only because it could break itself out.
Hmm.
So that was 12 points, booming blade, things still good. Right, Cam? Okay. Elle, you are up. Apoc, you're on deck.
So Elle's gonna take some of her movement to go ahead, but she has seen Basil go down, right? She must have.
Yes, she did.
So as she's coming up kind of next to Miss Q and Day, they can hear her muttering. She's no, let no bad happen, let no bad happen. And she's gonna cast Healing Word at second level on Sir Basil.
Hey.
Aww.
Amazing.
So that's, do I roll that or do you roll that? 2d4 plus 2.
I'll let you roll it.
Okay.
Yep.
No pressure.
It's your spell.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 4 and a 3, so 7 plus 2, so you get 9.
That's really good.
Oh, let no bad happen.
Whew, pretty clutch.
So Basil kind of just like wakes up and is just like, what happened? Leaning against or on top of the guard.
And Elle at this point, her hood is back. You can see her head is all white feathered and her eyes are just glowing white. She doesn't seem to care much anymore. That you can see that she has magical powers.
Love it. All right, Apoc, you are up. Mrs. Q, you're on deck.
Can you describe the elevators?
I'm scared. So the elevator's kind of like everything in in Alderheart has been built into and is part of the tree itself. So there is part of the contraption that is trunk and wood, something that has been shaped for this purpose. And part of the contraption, the actual gears itself, and the chain of the elevator is metallic. It doesn't look so much like there is a handle, for example, and you know from taking the elevator up and down that it is more like magically driven, so that not just anybody can go and take it, like an operator is the one that needs to control the elevators. The gears are more kind of, from where you are, you could see like the grate of the elevator, but it's built onto the outside of the tree. So the gears are more kind of flush to the wall itself and poking out of the tree. It's kind of like an open hole. And that's how you remember getting the cart up too. You were in the elevator going up the side of the outside of the tree.
Okay. So can I see the operator, the person who's controlling it right now, or about to make it go?
I'm sorry I don't have a better map in this case,
No, it's okay.
but we are talking like we are talking blocks away is where you can kind of see all of this turmoil going on in this retreat. And the only way you can really kind of tell that it's going on is the way people are moving. So the way the bandits seem to be moving versus the way the perch guard armor force seems to be moving, for example.
Okay. So that the guy that I have marked that was heading towards it, I mean, I'm assuming he's still within 150 feet.
Yes, he's still within
So
150.
that's true. Okay, I'll make this easy then. I just want to shoot him.
Oh no. Andrew and Georgina are freaking out.
We lost him.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead and we'll continue going. There's no real danger posed to their characters at this point in time.
That's a nat 20.
For the guy who's marked.
The guy who's marked. Elevator boy.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
So this is with everything.
Little one.
Nope.
Oh.
24 points of piercing damage.
As you see the little Gerbine fall.
Yeah, we
Yet another Apoc kills. Sorry, Ken?
we make sure we clean up our mess.
Yeah.
Kidding.
And yeah, I'm just gonna, oh man, if they're running away, I just want to move the mark to the other guy, the bandit. Actually, what's the range on that? Can I? 90 feet. So as long as I can keep up with bandit 8, can I
Yeah,
move it to him?
he's at like 60, 70 feet away, so you could do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna move past and keep running. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I can get to about here.
Okay.
Running through bandit 4.
So next up, it is going to be Mrs. Q and Basil. They'll just get to their turns and they hop back in. And then it's going to be the servant's turn. So this guy is going to keep booking it as far as he can. There they are. He's not even going to bother shooting at you. He's going to just keep running.
Bandit 4 that's going away.
Pardon?
Bandit 4 is moving.
No, not Bandit 4 because he's technically still charmed.
Gotcha. Sorry.
You guys good?
Yeah,
sorry about
sorry.
That's okay. Mrs. Q and Basil, it was actually your turn side to side with the exception of one servant that ran. We can jump back into your turns now if you want. With Mrs. Q up first.
Okay, sorry.
Can you tell us
Everything
what
is-
Apoc did?
I nat 20 killed the guy running away with stuff.
The Gerbine.
Yeah, it was the most epic part of the session tonight.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Blood everywhere, fleas disemboweling entrails, just you name it.
There's flips and kicks. It was amazing.
From an arrow.
Mrs. Q will
This guy's unconscious.
use some of her movement to get over to Dace. And she puts her arm on his hand on his shoulder and casts Cure Wounds for 1d8 plus 2, which is that is a total of 10 healed. And then as she's doing that, she looks over to cooked Basil. Did you not notice?
Who changed that?
I love that.
I had to.
And casts healing word from where she is for 1d4 plus 2.
So you're not able to do 2 leveled spells at once. When you do cast spells, you can do like an action and bonus action, but one of them has to be a cantrip.
So healing.
And one can be a leveled spell.
So healing word is a bonus action.
Because
though.
I had healing word as a bonus action spell.
So it is, but healing word is a leveled spell. So like level 1, 2, 3. Cure wounds is also a leveled spell.
Right.
And there are limits to the number of leveled spells you can cast in one go.
Oh.
So you can do like an action spell and bonus action cantrip or vice versa, but you cannot do action and bonus action for a leveled spell.
Oh, all right. Well, then I'm only doing what I just did.
Do you have more movement? You only move like 10 feet.
Yeah, but I mean, where am I going?
How much speed do you have? 1, 2, 3. You could like move up to me and like give me a barrier or something. Or, I don't know.
I can't cast any more things in my turn.
Okay.
But I'm sure I can move up closer.
Only if you want to.
Sure.
So like move up here?
Yeah.
Or do you want to move up here?
Yeah.
Cool.
And Basil, you are up.
So as far as we know, Bandit 4 is still armed, correct?
Yep. Kind of sitting there.
After Cam stabbed him, how is he looking?
Bandit 4?
Mm-hmm.
Looking fine.
Fine? Oh, jeez. Okay, in that case, Basil's gonna like, since he's now awake, gonna like kind of prop himself back up, and he's just gonna like, as he's kind of coming to, seeing Bandit 4, he's just gonna just like instinctively just rush him and just take a swing.
All right, go for it.
Okay. What's going on here? A 12.
Fortunately, a little bit woozy from blood loss. Your strike goes a little bit wide.
Okay. In that case, he's going to use his bonus action to use second wind, and he's going to regain some health. But that's
Right. Perfect. So go ahead and roll that. It is now the servant's turn, and I need to know what the save is to shake him out of this.
it's going to be saving throw. It needs to be the 12.
What kind of saving?
Constitution, wisdom. Ugh. As he stays in his charmed ways. Ooh. All right, next is going to be the perch guard, as the one closest to you, Elle, is going to kind of turn to you. You're all right, you're all right. Where did she go? Where did the older one go? Is she okay? And it's just going to kind of try and take stock of everything that's been going on. Seeing the bodies around. The one in front of him is going to run over to his fallen comrade and try and revive him. Oh, it's the red figurine. And the perch guard kind of in front of you, Mrs. Q, is going to rush over to Bandit 4 and take a swing. And is going to miss. And Dace, you are up. Cam on deck.
Yeah, so I'm not really close to anyone, so I'll just keep on doing. I'll just move 30 feet.
Right.
Or I'm where Miss Q is. Am I close? No, I guess I'm not even. Yeah, that's all I can do.
Right. At least getting some eyes on everything. Cam, Elle, you're on deck.
Gonna just drop the blade down into his jugular since he's incapacitated. That's like a 20. 22.
Yes. Yes.
11 points of damage.
All right, this charmed creature just still in his stupor, taking hit after hit, looking fine, but not quite aware of his situation. Is that it, Camembert?
Yeah, I figure that's all I can do for my turn.
Elle, you are up.
Well, Elle's kind of look around to the perch guards who she doesn't have good feelings about, and she's gonna run up. But I don't think she can get past Daze because she doesn't have a ton of movement. But I think she can make it at least 2 beside him. She is seeing the Cam and Basil and everyone at this bandit, but she doesn't know what really she can do. Is the bandit's almost, he's looking rough.
The bandit? The bandit's looking okay.
Okay, what? Yeah, because he's charmed, do we have advantage, technically?
I'm just trying to figure that out, because it's like...
It says he's in a dreamy stupor.
Yeah, well, charmed in this way, the creature has a speed of 0 and is incapacitated, which is what I've been looking up in the background as you've been
No action, no reaction. Yeah, there's no advantage or anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's not advantage, just... You just can't do anything. That's all.
Like, do we want to kill this guy? Because, like, I think we're all...
Yeah, that's kind of what Elle is wondering, is she's looking and she's never killed anyone. Not that she can remember, but...
Well, as of right now, like, speaking out of game, we have an unconscious dude.
Yeah.
Who's charmed.
And we also have bandit number 7 that we can interrogate later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we don't need this bandit 4. So, Elle, did you want to, like, finish him off? Little hazing to join the group is you kill your first bandit?
Oh, I know
that.
Do it.
There will be no peer pressure in this group.
Do it.
She sees too that everyone still is looking not so good, but she's gonna reach out and she's gonna cast Thorn Whip on the bandit.
Nice.
All right.
Picture him like the guy that betrayed you and didn't give you that money.
Oh, that's not the worst thing that's happened to her. So she's gonna kind of imagine too, like how she had tried to do Entangled. There's gonna be a whip that kind of comes out of the ground. Let's see if it hits.
Go for it.
So it's a 16 plus my spell attack, right?
Oh, yes.
So it's a 20 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely hits.
Sweet. Okay, so it takes 5 piercing damage, and the creature is pulled 10 feet closer to me.
Oh gosh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as this thorn whip goes out, the creature is kind of yanked, right between Basil and the perch guard, getting jostled just a little bit to be right on the base.
Apoc, Elle's gonna get her first kill. You should check this out.
No, 5 damage isn't that much.
Every bit of damage counts.
Mm-hmm.
Does Booming Blade trigger if it's forced movement? Okay, I want to remember that. All right, Apoc, you are up. Mrs. Q, you're on deck.
These guys, they look like they're handling it pretty well. The one that ran away, can I still get sight on him?
So he was 60 feet ahead of you, and then he used his action as move. He's like 130 feet from you now.
Still within range.
All right, go for it.
Does a 12 hit?
Arrow goes wide.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's a tough shot. I'll just. Yeah, she's gonna get a kill. Let me see.
And as you turn your back, you. By now, I've been missing that part of it. By now, the elevator has been going down, and bandits are kind of hopping on the top of it to get out of the fray, leaving the perch guard alone on top. As they are making off with their steal or their plunder, whatever. Mrs. Q, you are up.
You're right in front of him.
Daisy's
Basil, you're on deck.
Thank you.
Do it. Do it.
Mrs. Q honestly doesn't like the idea of attacking something that isn't attacking her. Like this thing is kind of incapacitated. She doesn't
Hold
like
its
the
hand
idea.
up and swing it at her.
So, huh?
Nothing.
So she's not going to attack.
What are you doing?
She will. Dace, are you like what's your?
I'm right next to you.
Yeah, no, I know that. What's your health like?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, okay. If everyone's doing all right.
Alright. Mrs. Q, should we tie him up?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I have manacles. Anybody want them?
I am up with the thorn whip.
I think there is no harm in having 2 hostages or 2 prisoners, and I think we are in a city where there are prisons, and they are no longer attacking us, so maybe you can hand them over to the authorities to be appropriately interrogated, once we're done interrogating them, of course.
Personally interrogating one.
Under my supervision.
All right.
Okay.
So with Mrs. Q making the peace plea, Basil, are you gonna do anything?
Keep in mind that you are lawful good, aren't you?
Yeah. I get, and we're saying that the other people are like too far away, right?
They're all long gone now.
Yeah, they're long gone. The elevator is going, like you can barely hear things now.
So Basil's just gonna walk up and help the group restrain this charmed dude. Tie him up.
So I'm gonna say if that's the way you're going, between like Mrs. Q's action to time up and yours, he's incapacitated, he can't fight back. He can make like one final, it's his turn. You have him bound, he'll make one final attempt to break out of the charm. And then we'll kind of go from there. Doesn't do it. So I'm going to say at this point we can drop out of combat, because if he does break out of the charm, it doesn't matter. He's restrained anyways.
I'd like to retrieve my dagger from his neck.
Cool. Wipe it off on your sleeve.
I'm covered in blood, mostly not my own.
Yep. So we are out of combat.
There was a Gerbine that we killed with a sack of goods.
Mm-hmm.
Can we retrieve those?
Yeah, easy enough to do as you do retrieve it. You can see that it is full of like grains, spices. It's food, it's supplies that he was carrying.
Guys, they're just trying to live. They just needed food.
Do we see that they have similar like markings, or like their uniforms are the same as the previous bandits we've run into on the road?
Yeah, so you can see, like, if you go to pick over the bodies, you can kind of see the same thing. Ill-fitting armor, with the exception of The two that you have, one of them appears to be a captain, who you recognize because of the same pommel insignia on their sword. The other appears to be a general. So a little bit higher up on the list. And the armor of this general, that's the servant, fits a little nicer than the rest of the bandits that you handily defeated. But as you take your time to kind of like pick over and take a look and just sort of gather yourself after this battle in the trunk market of Alderheart during the festival of the Dawn Mother and the Night Father, we will pick up there next time because it is almost like 10:37, so it's time to stop.
Cool.